Today we're going to talk about hyperbola. We are asked to sketch the graph of this given hyperbola and find the ABC, the equation in standard form, the equation of the asymptotes, and we're going to transform the equation to general form. We need to draw a rectangular coordinate system with the y-axis and the x-axis. Now the first given point is negative 3, negative 1, negative 3. This is negative 1. So here's the first point. Let's call this V1, negative 1, negative 3. Now let's locate another point. We have 5, negative 3. So let's call this V2. Negative 3. Now, to find the center, alam naman natin na between the vertices is the center. So, ibig sabihin, yung nasa gitna nito ng V1 and V2 is the center. So, hanapin natin yung center. Mag-direct counting tayo. From here, ito from negative 1 to 5, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 half of 6 is 3. So, we're going to count again, 1, 2, 3. So, here is the center. The center is at 2, negative 3. One of the important point kasi, the center will serve as our HK. So, dun sa formula natin ng standard form, kakailanganin natin to. This is the HK. Now, we have another point, F1, negative 3, negative 1. Negative 3, that is negative 2, negative 3. And there is negative 3 somewhere here. So, let's call this F1. As given, negative 3, negative 3. And since it is 2 units away from V1, yung F2 will also be 2 units away from V2, dun sa kabilang side. Dahil ito is 2 units. 6, 7. So, let's call this F2. That is 7, negative 3. And then, i-connect lang natin to yung V1 and V2. So, pag kinonnect natin yan, ito na yung tatawagin nating transverse axis. This will be your transverse axis. Now, after natin ma-draw that this one is transverse axis, meaning we have a horizontal transverse axis. So, we have a set of formula na gagamitin. Kung transverse axis, we have a formula x minus h square over y over a square, y minus k square over b square is equals to 1 in case na horizontal yung transverse axis natin. In case naman na hindi naman siya horizontal, vertical, so ang gagawin natin yung isang equation, we have y minus k square So, kung mapapansin dito sa two sets of equation in standard form, kung nasaan yung positive sign, nandun yung a squared. Dahil under x term, we have a squared, ibig sabihin, we have horizontal. And under y term, we have a squared. Magiging vertical yung transverse axis natin. Now, we have to find the ABC. So, ano yung A? So, alam natin na yung A is the distance from one of the vertex to the center or center to vertex 1 or center to vertex 2. So, ano ba yung distance natin na yun? That distance is from 2 papunta dito sa negative 1. We have 1, 2, 3 units away from the center. So, we have A is equals to 3. And we know that from center to F1, we have the distance C. The distance C, we're going to look at this graph from 2, mapunta sa negative 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5 units away. Since here in a hyperbola, the longest side is C, so we're going to use Pythagorean theorem in order to find D. So we have to find B, B squared is equals to C squared minus A squared. So B is equals to the square root of, what is C? C is 5 squared minus A is 3 squared. So we have the square root of 5 squared, 25 minus 9. That is equals to 25 minus 9, we have 16. Square root of 16, we have 4. So now we have B is equals to 4. Now, tapos na tayo sa ABC. We need to find the equation of hyperbola in standard form. So, ano yung equation? Sabi natin, we have this equation in standard form na gagamitin if we have horizontal transverse axis. So, we are going to use this one. So, kung i-graph natin to, meron tayong graph na opening to the left and one opens to the right. So, dalawang part yung hyperbola. It's either open to the left, to the right, or kung vertical naman, up and down yung opening ng parts ng hyperbola. Now, to find the equation in standard form, meron na tayo, kompleto na tayo ng given. All we need to do is to use this equation and substitute the value of hk, a square, and b square. So, erasing ko muna to. Hindi ko gagamitin. So now then we're going to substitute h. We have x minus, we have h. hk is center is 2, negative 3. H is 2. Positive dito, magiging negative dito. Negative 2 square all over. Yung a square is 3. Square. Minus, that is negative 3. This is negative. At the rectangular coordinate system, we're going to make it positive. So, positive 3. Over, what is b square? B square is 4. 4 square. That is equals to 1. So we have now x minus 2 square over 9, 3 square, minus y plus 3 square over 16 is equals to 1. So ito na yung equation natin of hyperbola in standard form. So meron na tayong graph, meron na tayong ABC, meron na tayong equation in standard form ng hyperbola. Kaya lang, kompleto na ba tayo sa graph? Meron pa tayong kailangang ilagay. We need to lagay natin yung minor axis or the conjugate axis. Conjugate axis is B. B distance away from the center. Kaya lang ito ay vertical. So we're going to count 4. If this is 3, somewhere here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Sa baba, ganun din. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to make an imaginary line. This is distance B. And then we're going to connect yung intersection ng imaginary line natin na yun, ng B and the distance B and the distance A. And this will serve as our asymptotes. Ito rin. Ito. Yung asymptote, ito yung red portion, red line natin na to. We have two equation of asymptotes. The line leaning to the right is positive slope and the line leaning to the left is negative slope. So, dalawa yung magiging sagot natin dito sa equation of the asymptotes. Now, meron tayong graph. Ano pa hinahanap natin? We need to find the equation of the asymptote. So, burahin ko na to. So, ano ba yung kailangan natin gawin sa equation of the asymptote? In order to find the equation of the asymptote, we need to equate this equation into 0. If we equate it, let's try this one. This is standard form. And find y. So, pagkatapos natin i-equate ito sa 0, we are going to transpose negative term dun sa kabilang side na equation, and then we're going to make it positive. So, what happened is, so pagka-transpose natin, we're going to solve for y. So, we need the aid of cross multiplication here. So, pagka nag-cross multiply tayo, but before that, i-ikotin ko muna to para yung ating y term mapunta sa bandang left dahil ito yung hahanapin natin. Pero kung pwede namang balik ta rin agad. Pero para ipakita sa inyo, ginanto ko muna. So, babalik ta rin ko lang muna. So, dito ko babalik ta rin. Dito sa part natin na to. So, we have natin. So we have y minus k square over b square is equals to x minus h square. Now, itong part natin na to, yung denominator at saka yung numerator sa kabilang side, pwede nating palipat-lipatin yan. Kaya tinawag natin cross multiply. Itong b square pwede nating itabi doon. And then matitira yung y minus k over 1. So yung 1, bali wala naman yun. So, ganito lang yan. So y minus k square is equals to, papunta ron, b square x minus h square over a square. Now, para mawala yung square, so we need to square root both sides. So, pagka in-square root natin yan, makakancel yung square root sign, saka yung square. We now have y minus k is equals to square root. We have positive and negative value. Square root of b square is b. Square root of a square a square root of x minus h, that is x minus h square. And then to find y is equals to plus or minus b over a x minus h square plus k. So, ito na yung equation natin. In case na yung ano natin, yung center natin is at hk. Now, paano nangyayari kung the center is at the origin or at 0, 0? And kung center at 0, 0, di ba yung k natin will be equals to 0? Mawawala na pala yung square, it is no longer square. Tanggalin yung square kasi na square root na nga pala. So, this is x. Pagka wala na yung hk because 0, 0, we now have at 0, 0, y is equals to plus minus b over a and then x. Mawala na yung hk. Dahil meron tayong given na hk, so all we have to do is to substitute the value. So, rewrite ko lang dito ito. Dahil meron tayong hk, we have y is equals to plus or minus b. We have b. What is our b? We have our b that is equals to 4 over, and then over a, we have a that is equals to 3 and x minus h, ito kasama niya yung h minus, and then plus k is 3. This is negative, kanina negative yan, so will become positive k. So positive k. The k is equals to 3. So, tama ba? At negative 2. So, magiging negative 2. I'm sorry. Negative 2. Diba dito? Naging positive siya rito. Pag transpose natin doon, magiging positive k. So, we have negative 2, negative 3. So, nalito ba? So, kung nalito, ipakikita ko sa inyo kung paano. We have our center, di ba? We have our center at 2, negative 3. Di ba? Originally, nasa kabila ito. We have y plus 3. Since this is positive, negative, positive dito. That is equals to plus or minus 4/3 of x. Positive ito, magiging negative 2 ito. Then, pag transpose natin ito, magiging y is equals to plus or minus 4/3 x minus 2. Pero negative sa kabilang side. So okay din to. And now if we're going to transform equation to general form, nasan ba yung equation natin? We have here the equation. So let's use this one. Now, para ma-transform ito sa general form, ang kailangan lang natin, so gagawin ko na itong 9. And also ito is 4 squared, that is 16. So, ang kailangan lang natin gawin is that we need to multiply this by 9 times 16. Now, if we're going to multiply this by 9 over 16, we have this one. Multiply mo rito. If we're going to multiply here, makakancel ito. This one, makakancel ito. At saka ito. Matitira yung 16. We have 16 x minus 2 squared. Pag dito mo naman ito multiply dito sa term natin na to, we have 16 ang mapunta sa numerator dahil this one is divided by 1. 16 makakancel, yung 16, matitira is 9. So we have 9 y plus 3 square. And that is equals to 9 times 16. 9 times 16, hindi ako ready rito. 9 times 16, 9 times 6 is 54. 54, carry 5. 9 times 1, 9 plus 5 is 144. Is equals to 144. And then, bago mo establish yung 16 and 9, kailangan mo munang expand muna to. How to expand this one? Using FOIL method, we have 16 is x square minus 4x plus 4. Ito rin ganon. 9 times y square plus 6y plus 9 is equals to 144. And then, distribute. We have 16 x square minus 16 times 4. We have 16 times 4, 32, 64x. And then again, another 64 plus 64 minus negative 9 times y square, negative 9y square, negative 9 times 6, that is negative 54y, and then negative 9 times negative 9, that is negative 81. That is equals to 144. Then pwede natin i-combine yung lahat ng constant. Yung lahat ng constant, pag sumasamahin, they have 64. Pag negative, subtract. O, ang matitira dito, pagsunodin natin yung may x square para okay na yung pagkakasunod-sunod. We have 16 x square minus 9y square. Sunod itong may x. Minus 64x. Sunod yung may y. Minus 54y. And then itong constant, ang pwede natin gawin sa constant is that pwede natin i-transpose doon or equate na lang natin sa 0. So in this case, pwede natin equate na 0. So mangyayari dyan, magiging negative 144 yung isa. Tapos, i-add niya yung negative 81. So, add 81, magiging negative siya. So, 5, 2, 8 plus 12, carry 1, 225. This is negative 225. And then, ima-minus natin yung mas malaki yung negative. We have here 64, 225, minus 64, and 1, and then magiging 12, magiging 6, 1. You have negative 161 is equals to 0. So now this is the equation in general form. And finally, let's find the equation of hyperbola in standard form wherein we have a given general form. If this is the given, ang una natin gagawin is again, we're going to separate the x variable and y variable, and then transpose the constant at the other side of the equation. So we're going to start with it. So the x first, yung x. So we have 16 x squared, then minus 64x. So this is the first group of variable, and then minus 9y squared plus 54y. And then transpose negative 161, magiging positive 161. So, naging positive itong dalawa na to kasi we're going to distribute this negative, positive, that is negative 9y squared, negative, positive, that is negative 54y. Okay? Pagkatapos natin, we're going to factor. Common factor. Ano yung common factor? Kailangan mawala yung numerical coefficient na naka-squared sa x and y. So, ilalabas natin muna yung 16. Iwan natin yung square. Minus, ano factor divided by 16 divided by 64 divided by 16 is we have 4x. Minus. So, labas natin yung 9. And then 9 divided by 9, that is y squared. 54 divided by 9, we have 6y. That is equals to 161. So, ano yung susunod natin gagawin? Kailangan gawin natin itong perfect square. So, anong ginagawa natin? Kopyahin lang yung 16. Ang 4, diba? Yung term natin na to, na may x, divide lang natin sa 2. And then we square this. Ang magiging sagot, 4 divided by 2 is 2 square. We have 2 square is equals to 4. So, kopyahin lang muna yung nauna. 4x square minus 4x plus, so ito yung dadagdag natin. We have 4. Ito yun. Now, minus. And ganoon din to, yung 6 divide 2 and then the square. So, y square plus 6y plus 6 divided by 2, we have 3. 3 square, 9. Okay, 9. So this equals to 161. Now, to balance the equation, dahil dinagdagan natin to ng 4, kailangan dagdagan din natin to ng 4. Kaya lang, bago natin idagdag yung 4, kailangan muna natin i-multiply dito sa dati yung common factor niya bago natin ilabas dun sa kabila. Kasi di ba, i-distribute to 16 times x squared times 4x times 4. So, 16 times 4, we have 1632, we have 64 plus 64. Ganon din to, nag-add tayo ng 9 bago natin ilipat sa kabila. We have to multiply it by 9. 9 times 9, we have 81. Kaya lang, this one is negative 9. So, 9 times negative 9, we have negative 81. So, imbis na mag-add tayo, magma-minus tayo, negative 81. So, yung total niya, if this is positive, i-add natin yung dalawa na to. So, we are going to add this to 161 plus 64. 161 plus 64, we have 5, 12, 1, 225. And then minus 81, dahil ito is negative, 4, carry 1, bar 1, I mean, 12 minus 8, that is 4, multiply 4, we have 144 doon sa right side of the equation. Ngayon ito ang gagawin natin, we're going to make this a perfect square. Pa-factor natin to, this one, dahil alam naman natin na perfect square yan, kopyahin lang yung 16, and then square root ng x square, x, square root ng 4, 2, kopyahin lang yung negative 5, and then square this. Next, kopyahin yung 9, and then square root ng y square, we have y, square root of 9, or divided by 2, we have 3, kopyahin yung positive sign, and then we square. That is equals to 144. Diba yung equation standard form, kailangan that is always equals to 1. So that is Para maging equals to 1, di-divide natin yan sa 144. Lahat ng term. So if we're going to divide 16 over 144, 16 by 144, ang mangyayari dyan, ilo-lowest term lang natin or simplify. 16 divided by 16, 1. 144 divided by 16, we have 9. So magiging x minus 2 square over 9 minus. Ito rin ganon. Sa 9 mo naman, lowest term mo to, divide mo yung numerator sa 9 at saka yung denominator sa 9. So makukuha mo will be equals to 9 divided by 9 is 1. Matitira is y is 3 squared over 9, we have 16. And it is equals to 1.